Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. How does porn addiction affect men and women? Is there differences? Porn affects both men and women, and we've definitely had access to more information on women recently because of the ease of access and that there's a high rise in females using pornography. So far, we've mostly looked at men. For the past decades, the focus was mostly on men. Now we can actually compare the two different genders. Without a doubt, when it comes to the neuroscience behind it, it affects men and women very similarly. The dopamine receptors that we've explained in so many different videos, the dopamine threshold, and so on and so forth. However, I would say that there is a fundamental difference in how it affects men and women. And that is when it comes to the physiological aspect. Emotionally, spiritually, the neuroscience behind it is quite similar. There are some differences. However, when it comes to the actual physiological implications, is where maybe emotional as well, because women are mostly and overly emotional. When they are porn addicted, we'll find that this empathy that is predominantly in women more so than in men, men also are empathetic, that gets affected. Their fitra gets affected. The male's fitra gets affected. And because the two fitras are different, obviously there's going to be some differences in how pornography affects them. But what I would like to highlight here, something that is quite important in how it affects them differently, is that basically women start being real women and proper feminine women. And men stop being proper men. They become weaker. Interestingly enough, there's a study in Germany that showed that women who are more, that the women are exhibiting more masculine sexual patterns. And that most women who exhibit those masculine sexual patterns, such as the need to basically be forth about their sexuality, about their desires. The women now will even initiate things. Women are now polygamous as well, not in marriage, but in terms of having multiple partners. Women, there's PMO issues, excessive masturbation, porn use, as we know. These things would usually be associated with men. Women are now bisexual, more bisexual. Usually men who are hypersexual would not show bisexual tendencies. It's a big difference between the two. It seems that more women who are hypersexual in their behavior, they do tend to follow into bisexuality a lot more often than men. Physiologically speaking, when it comes to performance, when a woman gets married or a man gets married, it seems that men have more erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, obviously, because they're men, because of their physiological makeup. However, it affects the ability to climax for women as well, because many women who are porn addicted, they do report that they have lesser ability to be pleased and satisfied. It's harder for them to climax, and they need to be stimulated a certain way based on whatever they've been watching. So it seems for the woman that the stimulation is more in the context, the mind, what they think about, what they want to see. And because that's not offered in their partners when they get married a lot of times, that causes problems with orgasm and climax and obviously quality. For men, because they are the performance, the burden of performance kind of stays on them. And because they've been porn addicted, they also have issues with connecting, performing, and they don't have delayed ejaculation. So women have delayed orgasm or not ability to not even have orgasm. For men, they won't be able to actually get hard, or they'll have premature ejaculation. So two different things, two different issues. I would say it's also more dangerous for women when it comes to porn addiction, because guys, when they realize that they have these physiological problems and they know that it's going to affect their performance and they know that the burden of performance is on them, and they want to make sure that they fix themselves because it's very shameful that they cannot perform in their night of marriage or in their marriage after that. They want to fix themselves and fix their problems. With women, because they're not performers, they don't realize that they have this delayed orgasm or the inability to orgasm due to pornography. They don't realize, they don't even consider it as a big deal or a big problem because the burden of performance is not on them. They don't know that, oh, maybe if I'm going to sleep with my husband, future husband, he's not going to be able to please me. Do you see? He's not going to be able to please me. It's not that she's not going to be able to be pleased, it's that he's not going to be able to please her. But what the problem is not that necessarily his performance, is that she's been addicted to pornography, so her brain has pretty much changed and she's not able to climax. So these are some of the ways that it affects both men and women in a different way.